It's time for March's edition of PlayStation Plus versus Xbox Games with Gold. As always, we're only looking at titles that are playable on the PS4 and the Xbox One. With that being said, let's get right into this by first looking at the Plus offerings. First on PlayStation Plus, we have Disc Jam, an upcoming arcade sports title that pits 2 to 4 players against one another in a combination of air hockey and tennis. You scramble to retrieve and throw a glowing disc while unleashing devastating abilities and defending variable point end zones. The game isn't out yet, so who knows how it'll turn out, but many see it to have the same potential that Rocket League had, so at the very least, it's exciting for it to be included with PlayStation Plus, and hopefully it turns out well. Next, we have Tearaway Unfolded, which is a great game. Tearaway originally released on the PlayStation Vita. Unfolded is a refined version for the PS4 with new features, more content, and expanded environments. It also makes a great transition to the DualShock 4 controls. The game has an 81 on Metacritic and definitely one of the better offerings that PlayStation Plus has ever had. Lastly, we have one of the lower key titles, which is LUMO, an isometric platformer that's absorbing, challenging, and rewarding. The reviews point to it not being perfect, but a solid puzzle platform with intuitive controls and good design. It's got a 73 on Metacritic, and of the 3 games for the PS4 users this month, this is definitely the least enticing, but still something you should check out. PlayStation Plus this month is fairly good to PS4 users. You have an upcoming game in Disc Jam, an established quality game in Tearaway Unfolded, and LUMO, which while isn't amazing, still something that can be a nice diversion. Let's move on to the offerings on Xbox Games with Gold for Xbox One owners. First, we have Layers of Fear, which is a psychological horror game where you play as a disturbed painter as he navigates through a Victorian mansion while you discover secrets about the painter. The game is very story-driven and revolves around exploration with several jump scares. It's got a 78 on Metacritic, and for fans of horror games, definitely worth a download.
You probably think I'm mad. That's not right.
Even for you, there's still a way.
It never hurts to try. Well, what do we do when we fail?
Next, we have Evolve the Ultimate Edition, which is a very nice inclusion. Evolve was one of the highly anticipated games early on in this generation. Many would say it didn't live up to the hype, but still it had a very good premise, and the Ultimate Edition bundles in the base game along with several of the DLC packs, however not all of it, which is kind of disappointing. Now that it's offered as a gold title, you should check it out alongside some friends because this is definitely a game you want to play with some friends. It's got a 74 on Metacritic. Next up for the Xbox 360 titles, which are playable on Xbox One through backwards compatibility. First, we have Borderlands 2, which is an excellent game. For those that somehow haven't played Borderlands, now would be a great time. The sequel was a significant improvement over the first game, and if you can play it with some friends, it's a great experience. And even playing Borderlands solo, it offers a ton of fun. Borderlands 2's got an 89 on Metacritic.
I need another head for my merry-go-round. Sure. Ow!
Finally, we have Heavy Weapon, which is a side-scroller shoot-'em-up that was released all the way back in 2007. You got an atomic tank through several stages playing through a standard shoot-'em-up. It's not amazing by any means, and it's dated, but still it can act as a fun jump-in, jump-out type of game. It's got a 77 on Metacritic. So both platforms had a pretty good month. We don't know how Disc Jam is going to turn out, but it's always nice getting a new release. Tearaway Unfolded is a great game, and LUMO is a nice inclusion too. Even with that, I have to give the edge to Xbox and games with gold. One, because it's 4 games to 3, and you've got Layers of Fear, a very interesting horror game, Evolve Ultimate Edition, formerly a retail game, Borderlands II is great, and Heavy Weapon, while nothing to write home about, it's also in there. Regardless, I would say that both platforms had a really solid month. So that's gonna wrap up PlayStation Plus versus games with gold for the month of March. What do you think? Thought that Plus had the better month, or are you in agreement with me? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.